What's up guys, Rushman160 here, and today I have a B-Series turboed Honda and I need to make a recirculating external wastegate pipe. So I'm going to go from here, do something like this, and collect it into here. I don't know if I might go up, kind of bring it down so I can have a nice collection going this way instead of having like a direct T. So we'll play it by ear and just see kind of the room that we have. The radiator is right here, so I want to keep it, keep all the heat that I can all in this area where it's already at and we can't avoid it. So let's get started and I'll show you guys the progress. Okay, so the only two pieces that you'll really need is going to be a J-pipe or several other bends that you might have handy for yourself already, like some 45s or 90s, and a flange. This is a 38 millimeter. Usually those only come in a 2-bolt instead of a V-band, so that's what this is. Now, what I want to show you is you can use a hose clamp to get a nice straight wrap around your pipe, and this works on large diameter pipe as well. So because of the angle of exit, I kind of want to use this bend and try to utilize all of this maybe, I don't know if that's a 120 degree, probably not 120, but something like that. So all you have to do is make your mark around the hose clamp. Fill in the gap. And now we can go ahead and make that cut. Okay, so I'm sure the first thing you'll notice is that this is probably a little bit too long. So it does fit into the flange, you can see, so you could kind of soak up a little bit of fitment by dumping this in there like that, if you can see that. But it looks like what I can do, if I leave it like this, is I can cut it somewhere around here and keep it going down and then flick it up in there, probably turn it up right here. So I think the next step is going to be to make a piece that's going to go here. So then I'll tack that on. So then all I have to do is fill in the piece from here to that pipe. Because if I make anything here, it's going to make it really hard to collect it into here at my next step. So I'm just going to make this piece that collects in here right now so that it's like a constant piece of geometry and it's not like moving around as I'm making this. Okay, so nothing fancy there as you saw, just using the grinder with a flat disc. And it looks pretty good, so that's a decent fit up for TIG. I'll be purging it, so that'll be okay for slight gaps in there. You can kind of see what it looks like. And I'll be sure to clean this inside before I weld it, because that'll, once the weld pokes through there, it's going to grab this stuff on the back side and then it'll contaminate your weld, and you'll notice it here. It'll probably be like hard to flow, hard to get it to move really nicely, and the arc might be really wandery. So I'll probably cut this down a little bit smaller, like something like that, and go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my piece now. It's pretty small. I'm going to decide kind of where I want it in this range. So I want this to dump after the O2 sensor bung, which I'll probably have more down here, so it doesn't interfere with that. Shouldn't have an issue because the exhaust is coming straight from there, but I'd rather not. So I think that looks pretty good. That'll give us a line going this way, away from the radiator. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make my line. And this is what I'm gonna cut out of the pipe. So this tool is called a carbide burr. This is a cross-cut burr. Here would be a regular one. So next, it's about as large as I'm going to be able to get the hole with one of these. So next I'm going to chew it out with this. And this will chew it out like a hot knife through butter. So it's a pretty nice looking fit. That's the hole. You can see that. Pretty much like a little puzzle piece. And then the inside, when I weld it, should look really nice. The collection in there should look really nice since I'll purge weld it. And purge welding is when you use something like this, a cap, to inject gas inside the pipe. Meanwhile, there's gas coming out of the torch on the outside as you weld. So it gets a perfect environment inside and outside in one pass. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack that on there. But first, I'm just gonna clean this up, give it a nice little brushed finish with this black Scotch-Brite. But looking at the way this is going, I don't think with this bend radius I'm going to be able to really make it in there. So I think I'm going to bring this down to something like this. I'm going to make this the smallest 90 possible so I can just get a straight shot over there. Then I'll probably dump down and go up. But I don't think utilizing, see, if it was a bend radius, something like this, then it would probably work no problem. But this is a longer radius. So, like I say, what I'm gonna do is cut it here and probably something like right here, and then see where I get from there. So you guys saw me make this mark, but I kind of second guessed it when I was cutting it, so went ahead and left it, and I'm glad I did. I think you guys will see that this is looking pretty good. So that's where I'm gonna go, and it looks like probably just a 45 might do the trick. Let's find out. Okay, so I made this two 45s tacked to each other, and then I made a little mark and welded them on, tacked them. So let me see if I can, I don't want to block you guys. So this is what I'm looking at here. Go with this one. Okay, so it looks like if I do it right, I can take some length off of this and meet this down to there. So this distance from here to here is what I'm going to cut off of there, and that looks like, I don't know, probably like an inch or so. So that's what I'm going to do. After endless fitting, this is what we have, and from here I can just put a small 1 inch or whatever straight that is right there, and we should be good. So I tacked this up and I got this bolted in where I want it to be, and you can see here that's what we got. See if I can get you guys a little better. So you can see that's a perfect straight shot right to it. So what I want to do now is pretty much just make an approximation of where I want this cut. So looks like I want to take it to like right here. Okay, so this is pretty much what we're looking at. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna get to tacking it up. I guess I forgot to hit record a little bit before when I was explaining this process, but what's going on here is I'm plugging the pipe using foil and PET tape, and PET tape is a tape that won't leave a residue on the pipe, so you can pretty much peel it even after it's melted and it won't leave anything on there after welding for it to mess up your weld. And that's just to seal it up so it will hold the argon gas that I'm injecting inside of it to maintain an inert environment inside of the pipe. You can see the hose right there, and argon's also coming out of the torch as well to make it inert on the outside. Okay, if you're still awake at this point in the video, here's the finished product. I'm really happy with it. I'm happy with the finish inside the pipe. I'm happy with the finish outside the pipe. See if I can't get you guys an inside shot. It's not going to want to focus inside the pipe. Oh, there we go. So you can see some of the work the Purge did. The welds inside there look nice and good, just like the outside. Oh. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I know the owner is happy with it. I already sent him some photos. You guys saw what it takes. You saw how I do it. Your first one's not going to be amazing. Probably not your second, maybe not even your third, but at some point, if you keep trying, you'll get to something like this. And it's pretty rewarding at this point. So get out there and make something. Fabricate something on your own car. Put your own design. Make it your own.